Hello and welcome to the 30k channel. I'm your host David.
And I'm Boris.
And we are back for game 3 of 4 of the Ayenbite.
Hell yeah.
Excited stuff. Hopefully you've been following the progress. It's been a nail-biting situation. First game was a draw.
Yeah, real tight draw.
Very tight.
Yeah.
Second game was a great victory for the Fists.
Just my dice were with me, I think, and yours, more importantly, weren't with you.
God damn it. But hopefully we're going to try and pull it back. And this time we have increased to 2,000 points. And we've got, particularly on the Wordbearer side, there's a lot more armour than there has been in the entire game so far.
One squad foot-stocking.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm learning my lesson. You know, this is a journey for me.
It is, yeah.
More than anything else. You know, I'm a mechanic and player at heart, and playing with Space Marines is a wild, wild ride. Anyway, Boris, please remind us where we are.
So, we are on the planet of Henghast IV. The Imperial Fists crash landed from Wordbearer treachery, and the last two games we've been fighting and escaping. Mm-hmm. The Imperial Fists have escaped the crash site, and they have now decided to push for the planetary capital because it has lift facilities to get to orbit. So they're going to try and break out and bring word of the Wordbearer treachery, start of the heresy, to the Imperials. The Imperial Fist column has approached the industrial area on the outside of the city and has been met by a Wordbearer's counterattack. So this is the tip of the spear in true Sons of Horus fashion. The Imperial Fists are trying to seize their objective, and the Wordbearers are trying to stop them. So we're just straight up in a Dominion game this game.
Yeah, Dominion game, Dawn of War. We've got a very big piece of scenery to fight over. Lots of entrance and access ways. But I think it's going to be quite a tricky one to get around.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think it looks really open, and there's going to be really quickly a lot of choke points. I have a feeling.
Yeah.
But it depends what the maybe some tanks will blow up, and I'm hoping maybe create choke points, or depending on the dice, maybe we'll end up with one side washing over the other.
Who knows? If we look closer at the battlefield, though, we'll have a look at those Dominion objectives. They are placed around the board in a 5 pip configuration, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of like the 5 on a dice pip thing.
We've tried to be as fair as possible. You know, in this game, you can put an objective very close to your deployment zone, and you can score it on the first turn. Yeah. So we've decided to push them away from the deployment zone, so you've got to make a bit of an effort. However, your Warlord trait has done a good job.
Yeah, we did that on purpose, and then I kind of cheekily went, well, my Warlord trait allows me to infiltrate 3 units, so I push forward as a squad, so I am scoring on the first turn. Yeah. However, there's only a few on the objective, and they are really far forward. And you are going first at the moment. Potentially. I chose to go second. I thought the amount of armour, and I have some anti-armour assets I wanted to counter-deploy, so I chose to go second, deploy second.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
And if we look at deployment now, you can see the model set up on the table. The Wordbearers have kind of clustered around that larger building with the Achilles and the Rhinos and a Dreadnought in support. And then the Terminators on the HQ are out on a limb, and they will try and foot slog into the centre of the board and cause some damage. Boris, what have you gone for?
So my initial thought was maybe like area denial, just bunch up all in one corner. But the deployment zones themselves are actually really empty. So I decided to kind of spread out. I'm going to try spread out and turn a flank maybe. But at the moment, I've sort of gone down my entire deployment zone. I've got some fast moving units. So with your learning Marines, I've taken some Thalax, never used them before. I had to kind of work my way through the Tagmata army list earlier. So I've got some Thalax that maybe can do some flank moves. But it's going to depend on the movement of the Wordbearers, I think.
And don't forget, for those of you who haven't been eagle-eyed enough, I'll show you one of the objective markers. They are these cylindrical canisters which you got from the old Battlefield accessories sprue. So the green ones are the objectives for this game, and we're measuring from the centre because it's the most fairest way of doing it.
Yeah.
I think that covers everything. You know the mission, you know our deployment, you know our rough plan of attack. Wordbearers are going first. Imperial Fists are going to seize.
We're going to see what we can do.
Don't you dare.
A pocket dice. Third time's a charm. Let's see if we can do it. It's a 4. No. So that is not a seize. So that'll be...
Wordbearers turn 1. All right, let's quickly look at the list and we'll see at the beginning of the first turn. 2,000 points of Wordbearers led by a Praetor. The Warlord trait is Child of Terror. Leading the Wordbearers into battle is a Praetor equipped in Tartarus pattern Terminator armour. He's equipped with a mastercrafted Paragon blade, digital lasers, and an iron halo. The second HQ is a Chaplain Consul. He's equipped with an Acrosius Arcanum, a bolt pistol, and artificer armour. The first elite's choice are 8 Terminers in Tartarus pattern Terminator armour. The Sergeant is equipped with a chain fist. 3 of the other Terminators also have chain fists, and there are 4 lightning claws in the squad. Finally, one of the Terminators is armed with an autocannon. The second elite's choice is a Talon of Contemptor Dreadnoughts. They are armed identically, both with close combat weapons and inbuilt heavy flamers. The Contemptors also have extra armour. There are 3 troops choices in the Wordbearer's army, and they are all identical. 10 tactical marines armed with bolt guns, bolt pistol, and additional close combat weapons. The sergeants are equipped with power fists and bolt pistol, and their dedicated transport is a Rhino with a pintle mounted multi-melter and extra armour. Finally, the heavy support choice is an Achilles Alpha pattern Land Raider. It's equipped with a hull-mounted quad launcher with frag and shatter shells, and there are 2 sponson-mounted twin-linked Volkite culverins. It is also equipped with a searchlight, smoke launchers, extra armour, and machine spirit. Additional special rules are enhanced ferromantic rights and galvanic traction drive.
2,000 points of Loyalist forces, led by the Imperial Fists in a Crusade Force organisation chart, with an allied detachment of Mechanicum Tagmata. Leading the Imperial Fists is a Delegatus Consul. He's armed with artificer armour, melter bombs, a refractor field, bolt pistol, and power fist. He has the Warlord trait, Master of Ambush, which allows him and 3 other units in the army to infiltrate. The second HQ choice for the Imperial Fists is a Master of Signal Consul. He is upgraded to have a plasma pistol, and other than that has power armor and a chainsword. The first elite's choice for the Imperial Fists is a Contemptor Mortis Dreadnought. It has been upgraded to have twin Carey's assault cannons and a Havoc launcher. The second elite's choice is an Apothecary with no upgrades. The first troop's choice is a 10-man tactical squad. The Sergeant has been upgraded with artificer armor and a power fist. They have been given the dedicated transport of a Rhino, which has been upgraded with extra armor and a pintle-mounted multi-melter. The second troop's choice is a 15-man tactical squad. The Sergeant has been upgraded with artificer armour, melter bombs, and a power sword. The first and only fast attack choice for the Imperial Fists is a 5-man Skyhunter squadron. The Sergeant has been upgraded with a power fist, and the entire squad are equipped with heavy bolters. The first heavy support choice for the Imperial Fists is a 9-man heavy support squad. The entire squad has been upgraded to be equipped with missile launchers. The second heavy support choice for the Imperial Fists is a Sakaran Venator tank destroyer. It has been upgraded with a twin-linked bolter and armoured ceramite. Leading the allied Mechanicum Tagmata detachment is a Magos Dominus, armed with a las pistol and power axe. First and second troops choices for the allied detachment are 2 identical squads of Thalax cohort. Both consist of 4 Thalax armed with lightning guns.
Wordbearer's turn 1 movement. The 2 Rhinos have pushed forward a full 12 inches, the first one passing its dangerous terrain test, moving over that pipeline. The Contemptor has moved forward underneath that platform, but is staring down the barrel of that Venator, but the army needs to push forwards to be effective in this game. On the other side of the battlefield, the Rhino has moved 6 inches and disgorged the troops ready to score on that objective the next turn. That unit will probably run to get in a better position. Terminators push forward a full 6 inches, as has the Contemptor, and the Achilles Alpha has just lined up some shots to pepper those Imperial Fists toting heavy weapon marines. Wordbearer's turn 1 shooting, and we're going to start with the Rhino. It's got a pintle mounted multi-melter, and we're going to fire straight down into the heavy weapon squad from the Imperial Fists. So we need a 3 to hit. All multi-melter, doesn't live up to its name, and then a 2s to wound, brilliant, and then it's a 5 up cover for those crates. Oh, that's a 6. Good work. Also has a twin-linked bolter, 3s to hit, fail to hit, twin-linked, also fails to hit. Next to fire is Achilles Alpha. It's a Volkite Culverin twin-linked, so it's 3s to hit, twin-linked. Oh god, 3 misses. Thankfully, that twin link comes into handy. Strength 6, so 2s to wound, and that is 3 wounds on the Marines. 3 up.
Okay, 3 of armor saves. All pass, triple 5.
Man, that is rough. The Alpha also has a quad launcher mounted in the front of it, so we're going to fire the shatter shells. 4 shots, hitting on 3s. That's 3 hits, that's good. Strength 8, 2s to wound, and that is 3 armor saves.
So 3 ups. all passed again.
Holy hell, what is it going to take? End of the shooting phase for the word bearers, not very successful. Apparently word bearers can't kill Imperial Fists. But to that end, the Terminators ran forward 3 inches. The Contempt at the back ran forward 6, just catching up with the Terminator's Rhino. This squad managed a massive 5-inch move to get move through cover. Sorry, for their run move to get onto the balcony there. The Contemptor has ran forward a huge 6 inches, and then finally these 2 Rhinos have flatted out their full 6 just to gain some ground on the Imperial Fist. Let's pray there's a better shooting phase for round 2.
Imperial Fist turn 1 movement. Starting on the left flank, the Rhino just came out from behind its cover to bring its multi-melter to bear on the enemy Rhinos. No disembarking there. The Phalanx just next to it stumbled a little bit on their move through cover, only moving 3 inches. The Contemptor Dreadnought moved up just to bring its carries to bear, giving it a few targets, either the Terminators or the Tactical Squad in the middle of the board. The Heavy Weapons Squad and the Master Signal sat still, ready to fire the heavy weapons. The Tactical Squad behind them, not liking the look of the massive Terminators moving behind them, towards them rather, just shuffled to the right of the board just to back up that flank. The lone Magos on the right flank just moved up to support the heavy weapon squad, and finally to the right, the Phalanx started a flank move down the right hand side of the board. Imperial Fist turn 1 shooting, starting with the Contemptor Mortis is taking aim at the tactical squad up on the platforms. We're going to hope to try and peel off as many as we can and maybe stop them capturing at the start of their next turn. So we have 2 Carries autocannons here, so we have 12 shots hitting on 2s. It's pretty good, only dropping 1. So these are wounding on 2s and 6s are rending. So it's not great. Well, actually, it's pretty good. We've only got a single rend there, but we do have 5, 10 wounds and a single rend. So if you take the regular wounds first, we have 2 Marines before we get to the Sergeant with Artificer Armour. 2 at a time before the Sergeant. So passed, fail. Now 1 at a time for the Sergeant. Pass, 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 fail. Now we're on the Sergeant with 2 up. I'm going to tank it on him if we can. He fails, brilliant. Now armor save, and then the rends we get a cover save 5 up. Okay, so not bad. I think that's 4 Marines dead. Following on from that pretty excellent round of shooting from the carries, the Contemptor fired its Havoc launcher, aiming right at the Marine it can see right on the front there. It however missed and didn't hit any of the word bearers. Next to shoot is the Imperial Fist Rhino holding the tactical squad. We're going to target with the multi-melter against the word bearer's Rhino right in front of it. We're within 12, so a hit would be really great here. Let's see what we can do. Well, it actually hits, that's really good. So strength 8, front armor 11. 9, 10, 11, we've got 3s to glance. That is a pen. There's no cover save, so we'll go straight on to the result. 1. So that is a single hull point, and the vehicle is shaken. Next to fire is the heavy weapon squad. We're going to try and peel the last of those tactical Marines in the middle off that objective to save ourselves a victory point, or deny the word bearers one rather. We've got 7 missile launchers that can see, hitting on 2s thanks to the Master of Signals. That is really good. So that would have been 3 misses, but it's all hit. Strength 8 and toughness 4, so 2s to wound. Only 1 doesn't wound, so that is 6 wounds at AP 3. The Sergeant is gone, so these are all 5 up cover saves. All right, so because we were a bit lucky taking that squad out, we've got a full bear of shots to brace from, so let's have a look. And so that's 5 dead and 1 has been saved. Next to fire is the Sakaran Venator. A bit of a tough choice of whether to crack a Rhino open or try and just destroy that Contemptor. Figured out that if I did blow up a Rhino, I'd probably actually disgorge the word bearers onto the objective for their turn 2, which isn't great. So we're going to try a chance shot at the Contemptor. It's 2 shots from the Venator for its main gun, so 1 hit, 1 miss. Front armor 13 is ordnance, however, so this is 2 dice and pick the highest. So that is a penetrating hit. We have looked already, and we reckon as it's 50% skilled, that is a 4 up cover save. So single 4 up from the word bearers. All right, let's have it. And that is saved. Oh, thank the Lord. End of turn 1 for the Imperial Fists. Both Thalax squads ran, and then in the assault phase, thrust moved. The squad on the right making it further around the board, and the squad on the centre of the board only running 1, but making up for with a 9-inch thrust move. The final thing to do was the Word Bearers took a leadership test, and thanks to True Believers, held firm. So that Tactical Marine is sticking fast. However, we did manage to get them off the objective, so that's pretty good for turn 1. It would have been nicer to maybe knock out a couple of those vehicles. I have a feeling a lot of the Word Bearers are going to come up very soon and start hitting us hard.
Word Bearers turn 2 movement, and decisive action has been taken by the Word Bearers after their appalling shooting phase from before. So the Terminators have pushed up as far as they can, and they may even try a really long charge into those Devastator Marines. The Rhino had to back up to make way for line of sight for the Achilles and the Contemptor. The single Marine there passing his leadership, thanks to True Believers, has hunkered down behind that ruin and will more than likely go to ground for a +1 cover save. On this side, a gamble has been taken. This Rhino has moved forward 6 inches and is within range of its melter gun of that Venator. We need a 3 and a 5 to glance or a 6 to pen. It's a very, very lucky shot. This Rhino here has moved forward and will snap shoot its multi-melter into the Imperial Fists Rhino. And then finally, both troop choices have got out and they are attempting to annihilate those Thalax, whilst maybe the Contemptor there building up to a charge to the Thalax to try and control this objective on this side of the board. It's a very committal move from the Word Bearers. It might pay off. Word Bearers turn 2 shooting, and we're going to start with the very risky shot here from the Rhino into the Venator. First, it requires a hit. 3 up. Oh, the multi-misser has let the Word Bearers down. What a shame. Next, we'll try another multi-melter into the Imperial Fist Rhino. This is snap shooting. Oh, hot diggity dog. It is not happening so far. Next to fire is the 10-man tactical squad that disembarked from that Rhino. There is 19 bolter shots going into those Thalax. 3s to hit. That is not a bad roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 misses, which is 13 hits. We'll take that. It's strength 4, toughness 5, requiring 5s to wound. Come on, Word Bearers. And that was appalling. That is 1 wound on those Thalax.
So that is a 4-up save, which is failed, and then a 6-up feel no pain, which is also failed. So a wound is dealt to the nearest Thalax. Next to follow up is the other tactical unit trying to take those Thalax out. This time there is 16 bolt gun shots, or bolter shots rather, 3s to hit. 1 more fell out the dice tray. There we go. I think that knocked it off. Was that a miss anyway? It was a 3. Okay, so it was a hit. So we fail 1, 2, 3. We fail 3. That is not too bad. Much better than last time. And again, strength 4, toughness 5, 5s required. A little better, please. That's not bad. 1, 2, 3, 4 wounds. 5 wounds, sorry. Okay, so 5 4-ups. Oof, pass all but 1. So that is another wound and a single feel no pain, which fails. So that's 1 more wound.
2 wounds off that lead Thalax. Quite appalling. Next to fire, the Achilles Alpha will fire both of its side sponsons into the heavy weapons squad. We need to whittle them down if we can. There is 8 shots hitting on 3s. Not bad. That is twin linked, so we get 3 misses there. And drop 1, so pretty good. And then we're strength 6, toughness 4, requiring 3s. Sorry, excuse me, 2s. That's really bad. Triple 1. Holy hell. So that is 4 armor saves from the Imperial Fists.
4 3-ups. So we fail 1. So that is a deflagrate kicks in.
Amen. All right, let's have a roll to wound. 1 more.
1 more. So 1 more 3-up armor save. And another fail.
Oh, we'll take that. Snap shooting will be the quad launcher at the same target. 6s to hit. Well, 1 fell out of the dice tray, so let's re-roll that. 2 hits. That's pretty good. 2s to wound. Yes, and now 2 armor saves.
2 3-ups. 1 dies.
Oh, 1 more. That's pretty good. Next to fire is the Terminators. They're firing combi weapons, the combi bolters rather, at the same unit. There is 9 shots. Twin linked. Requiring 3s to hit, so it's 3 failed so far. Twin links, failed 2. Pick up 1 more. That's not too bad. It is strength 4, toughness 4. Requiring falls to wound. Come on. Oh, that is terrible. 2 wounds.
2 3-ups. 1 does go down though.
Oh, 1 more. Okay, not too bad. And now we have an auto cannon. 2 shots from that, hitting on 3s. Also twin linked, I believe. Oh, jeez. 2s to wound. That's 1 wound.
3-up armor save.
Hot diggity.
Made.
Dog. At the end of the shooting phase, the Contemptor Dreadnought ran a massive 6 inches through that gap in the terrain. And then, unbelievably, the Imperial Fists rolled a 10 on their leadership test for losing 25% casualties. And the missile launcher squad fell back 6 inches. That is a great help to the word bearers. Next, we'll move on to the assault phase. Word bearers turn to assault phase, and that Contemptor has declared a charge against these Thalax. They will get to overwatch their lightning guns. Let's have a look.
4 shots. We need 6s. Oh my word. Oh. That's 2 hits. So any 6s here is an auto pen. So we really need some 6s. Not quite. That is a 5. So that is only a 12. The Contemptor escapes unharmed.
All right, now we need a massive charge. I think it's a 10-inch charge, so we'll have a quick measure, but I'll roll the dice, see how we get on. Come on. Oh, it's a 9. I am going to quickly measure it and get back to you. Unbelievably, it was an 8-inch charge, and that Contemptor has crashed into those Thalax. We'll do the Hammer of Wrath now, wounding on a 2. That's good.
4-up armor save from the Thalax, no. And a 6-up feel no pain, no. So that lead Thalax that took 2 wounds to the bolters is dead.
The Contemptor strikes initiative 4 before the Thalax and has 5 attacks. We require 3s and 2s to kill those Thalax. Oh, that is unbelievable. So we only get 2. Wow. Now 2s to wound. Okay, so that is 2 Thalax killed. But the Thalax cannot hurt the Contemptor in return, but they will require a leadership test. Their leadership 8, stubborn.
Okay, here we go. Keep it up on the leadership, so they fail. So it's an initiative off. So the Thalax get a 4.
Oof.
Ooh.
I think you get away. You cheeky. All right, how far do you fall back? 2d6?
Double 6.
12. All right, we're going to measure that up and come back to you. At the end of the word bearer's turn 2, the luck has started to swing back in the word bearer's favour. After the Thalax ran back 12 inches, that single model is but a hair's width away from the board edge, and the Contemptor rolled 5 inches on its consolidate but has cautiously stayed behind the rock, so the Venator cannot draw a line of sight to it in the next turn. A good turn for the word bearers. They've knocked the Imperial Fists off that objective, and they will not score at the beginning of theirs next turn. The Terminators will capture another objective, as will that sneaky Marine over there, and then these 20 TAC Marines are poised to pounce on this objective here. It's a very, very tough battle for the word bearers.
Imperial Fist turn 2 movement, started our roll with the reserves. Unfortunately, the jet bikes did not come on, so we're left fending without them. Tactical squad disembarked on the left-hand flank there, and its Rhino came round just to bring a shot on one of those 2 word bearer Rhinos. The Venator brought itself forward and round to target that Contemptor right in the middle. It's not close enough to target the, or it can't get far enough to target the Contemptor that just wiped out the Thalax squad almost to a man. The Thalax rallied, as did the heavy weapon squad. Both just moved 3 inches to try and bring their guns to bear against something. The Contemptor Mortis backpedaled away from its opposing Contemptor, and the large tactical squad with Delegatus moved around just to try and move towards that objective. We didn't score any objectives at the beginning of our turn, as we've been taken off all of them. Finally, the Thalax squad at full strength still on the far right flank brought itself up onto the hill slightly just to try and bring its their guns to bear on the back of that Rhino, maybe score some attrition points. Imperial turn 2 shooting. We're starting with the Rhino on Rhino action. We have the multi-melter on the top targeting the previously damaged word bearer's Rhino. So we need 3 to hit. That is a hit, so we are in armor bane distance. That is a penetrating hit, so we'll see what we get. That's a 3 to a 5. That is an immobilized result. Weapon destroyed, sorry. We'll roll to see what it is. So 1, 2, 3, it's the twin bolter, and 4, 5, 6, it's the multi-melter. That is the bolter is destroyed. Next to shoot is the tactical squad that disembarked from that Rhino. They're going to target the side of that enemy tactical squad that is contesting the objective. Or we'll do next turn. We have 17 shots with rapid fire all accounted for. We're hitting on 2s thanks to the Imperial Fist rule. That is really good. So we only missed 2 shots there, and it would have been a lot more if it wasn't for the
the Imperial Fist bolter rule. So we have 4s to wound. That's not so good. So we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wounds from all of that. So we have 3 up armor saves from the word bearers.
Let's hope for a few more saves this time. 3 ups. Oh, 1 went awry off the board. Not bad. Only 2 word bearers died.
Next to fire is the Sakaran Venator. It's going to target the undamaged Contemptor in the middle of the board. We have a pretty good line of sight to it, so we really need this to come off and hopefully start picking off some word bearer units. We have 2 shots from its tank destroyer on 3s. So 1 hit, 1 miss as before. We are ordnance, so 2 dice. We need 3s to glance. So that is 2 pens, so just 1 pen. So there's a 5 up save from its shield. That is made.
Oh, yeah.
Cheeky shot will try the Thalax that rallied. We'll try a snapshot against the enemy Contemptor that decimated its squad. So we need a 6 to hit. No. Next to fire is the heavy weapon squad. There's only 3 in sight. A little bit disappointing because they rallied. We can't use the orbital bombardment from the Master of Signals on those nicely grouped up tactical marines, nor is there any point giving them +1 ballistic skill because they're snap shooting. So we have 3 crack rockets shooting at that Contemptor, hitting on 6s, not a single hit. Next fire, getting a little bit desperate here. We're going to try and do some hold points to that Contemptor. We're going to bring the Carey's cannons against it, hoping for a lot of 6s. We have 12 shots hitting on 2s to start with. It's pretty good. So we didn't drop a single one. That's really good. So now we need some 6s. We have 6s and then we can cause some rends. So here we go. Well, that is not bad. That's 3 6s. So that's 3 rending hits. Now a 3+, it goes to a penetrating hit. So that is 3 penetrating hits. That's really good. So we have 3 pens from the Contemptor. The word bearer's Contemptor gets 3 invuln saves.
Some amazing rolls there from the Imperial Fists.
Just about time.
All right, 5 ups. Oh, and that has been hull pointed out by double Carey's Contemptor.
Moving on from that really good round of shooting, we've got the Thalax. The front 2 can see the very top of the enemy word bearer Rhino just around the corner. So we're going to try a cheeky shot into the side. We have 2 shots from their guns hitting on 3s. That is 2 hits. That's really good. So we have side armor 11. So we need 4s to glance, and that is a glance and a penetrating hit. We've had a look. It would be a 4-up because it's almost completely obscured, but thanks to the Thalax's special rules, it goes -2, so it is a 6-up cover. So we got a 6-up for the glancing hit first, failed, and for the penetrating, also failed. So we'll see what the penetrating hit does. That is a 5, so that is a weapon destroyed. So once again, we have 1, 2, 3 for the bolter, 4+ for the multi-melter. It's the multi-melter this time, so that's 2 hull points and a multi-melter destroyed. End of Imperial Fist turn 2. In the assault phase, the Thalax thrusted. The full squad on the right managed a 6-inch thrust move, just bring themselves right behind the word bearer's lines again. The lone Thalax that rallied this turn managed a mighty 10 and brought itself into the middle of the board to push towards that objective. Had a little bit of a decision on whether or not to run the large tactical squad closer to the objective in the middle, or not the middle, but closest to me. Decided I couldn't get there without putting myself really close to those Terminators, and it would just ensure my squad would die really quick. So we're going to concede that point, or at least not score it. At the beginning of the next word bearer's turn, they are going to score 2 more VPs, putting themselves in a solid lead. We're going to hope we're going to be strong in the later half of this game and play sensibly.
Word bearers turn 3, movement phase, and a lot of thought went into this phase, but the Rhino here backed up 12 inches to deny the Imperial Fists some points for attrition. The Praetor detached from the Terminators and the Chaplain to take on the Thalax to again score some points and deny some backfield hassle from that unit. The Alpha has rejigged ever so slightly to get its weapons to bear on multiple targets. The Contemptor and the Terminator unit have pushed forward a full 6 inches to try and get to grips with the Imperial Fist flank on this side. And the tactical squad over here moved onto the objective. They will score that beginning of the next turn, providing they can survive. The Rhino's moving into position to pour firepower into either the TAC Marines or the Rhino. And this Tactical Marine squad moved back to claim that objective in the following turn. At the beginning of this phase, though, 2 objective points were scored from the Word Bearers. Word Bearers turn 3 shooting, and both of those Rhinos will fire their multi-melters into the front of the Imperial Fist Rhino to score some points. So here we go, requiring 3s. Wow, first hit of the game from both of those. It's double armor pen, we need 3s to glance, 4s to dance. First one's a pen, Second one is a pen. Oh, look at that. Now we're rolling the chart for damage. +2 to this result. There it is. It does explode. We will work out to see if those Marines are affected from that blast. The Rhino exploded a full 6 inches and caught every single one of those tactical Marines. There is 4 to wound. That is not bad. So 2, 4, 5 wounds from the explosion.
So the sergeant's furthest away, so these are just 3 ups. Whew, 3 Marines do go down.
The word bearers behind the Rhinos will pour some firepower now into those tactical Marines. There is 8 bolter shots, 3s to hit. Not bad, to be fair. Half. 4s to wound. Oh, look at that. 4 wounds.
Okay, so we have 2 Marines before they get to the sergeant with large pricer armour, so 2 at a time. Both saved, and again, both saved.
Good work. Next to fire, this tactical squad that have secured the objective for the next turn will fire 8 bolt rounds into that Thalax to try and peel some wounds out. We require 3s to hit. Oh no, not amazing. Okay, so 4 hits with those bolters, so half, I guess. 5s to wound, 2 wounds, we'll take that.
2 4-up saves, both passed.
The Achilles Alpha will fire at 2 targets. The Culverins will go into the Thalax, and then the Shatter Shells from the quad launcher will go into the Mortis. So we'll start with the Volkites. Twin linked, we need it. 3s to hit. Oh, jeez. All right, so we get 2 hits. 3s to wound, strength 6, toughness 5, 2 wounds.
2 4-up armour saves from the Thalax, both failed. So that's 2 deflagrate. Oh, 2 6-up feel no pains, rather. So we do save 1. So that's 1 wound goes through, so you get another on the deflagrate, which doesn't wound.
It's not happening. So 1 wound dealt on that Thalax. Next is the quad launcher. 4 shots slamming home into the front of that Mortis Contemptor. 3s to hit. 3 hits, we'll take that. 5 to glance, 6 to dance. 1 glance. 5 up. There is Sunder attached to that weapon, so we get some Sunder there. Does not help us out. So 1 shield save.
1 shield save on a 5-up. It does not go. It does not save, so that goes through.
1 hull point. No more shooting at this tactical squad, so they require a leadership of 9.
See what we can do. The Fists haven't been great on leadership checks so far. That is a 6, so they hold fast.
Next to fire, that Praetor does have a combi bolter. It's slung behind his back on a large sling there. So 2 shots into the Thalax, hitting on 2s. It's twin linked, thanks to the combi. So that is 2 hits. Strength 4, toughness 5, 5s to wound, not a sausage. Now, on the other side of the battlefield, there was a lot of head scratching going on here, and the Terminators have decided to run instead of a 11-inch charge into tactical squad. But thankfully they rolled a 6, so they will be in a good position next turn to threaten the Imperial Fists. And then the Contemptor rolled a 1, but got fleet and then moved 4 inches for his run move on this side. There is no getting away from that Venator from the Imperial Fist next turn. Wordbearer's turn 3 assault phase, and the Praetor has declared a charge against this Thalax unit. They will get to Overwatch, requiring 6s.
4 shots and 6s. Well, we do get a hit. So this is 2s to wound. That is a wound, but it is just not enough AP, so it's just a 2-up armour save.
Whoa, just saved. All right, we need a 6-inch charge from that Praetor to get into combat with the Thalax. Oh, and it's a 4. That is a fail. Oh, unbelievable. At the end of turn 3, not bad for the turn for the Wordbearers. They have scored some victory points, and they have closed in on the Imperial Fist. The big shock of the match was that Praetor failing to get into charge range for those Thalax. I think maybe separating him out and leaving him on this flank was a bit of a mistake, failing that charge. But nevertheless, let's see what the Imperial Fists have got.
Imperial Fist turn 3, starting with the reserve rolls. The jet bikes finally came on, coming on the left-hand side of the Imperial Fist flanks. We've burst in, and we're going to aim for that tactical squad and see if we can pull them off the objective, or at least contest it before the Wordbearers next turn. The understrength tactical squad moved towards the Rhino that damaged its transport earlier, and we're going to try and blow it up. The Sakaran just adjusted to get a shot at that enemy Contemptor. We can see if we can finally do something with Caries. The Mortis with the Caries did the same, shuffling slightly sideways. The Thalax in the center, we're going to push and try for a brave push down the center to head for that center objective, hopefully rolling a high thrust move. The heavy weapon squad stayed still, as did the tactical squad. The heavy weapon squad are going to bring their guns to bear against the other undamaged tactical squad of the word bearers, hoping to use the orbital bombardment to good effect. The tactical squad have decided that backing up and firing is not going to be great, so we're going to sit still, rapid fire as many shots as we can to those Terminators, and then brace for the impact next turn. The Thalax continued their push, not believing their luck, having avoided the charge. We're going to again hope for some really good thrust moves to bring us out of range of that Praetor. We're going to continue our pursuit of the damaged Rhino, see if we can kill it, and then move away from the Praetor. Imperial Fist shooting turn 3. We're going to start with the weapon that has the most effect. The Master of Signals finally gets to fire his orbital bombardment. We'll call it a supporting artillery in this game. We're aiming for that tactical squad on the objective, sort of in the middle of the squad. We managed to place the marker so it hit every single member bar 1. It is a D3 ordnance weapon, so we need to roll for our D3 first. It's a 2. Okay, I'll take that. So we're going to roll for the first one to hit. That is a scatter, but only by 2 inches. So we're going to figure out where it goes and how many it hits. After rolling to wound, we dealt 11 wounds to the tactical squad. 3 up. AP3 would go through their saves, but the word bearer has declared to go to ground. So 8 6-up cover saves before we get to the sergeant on a 2-up. So 8 6-ups. Failing them all, so we're down to 3 hits, hitting the sergeant. So 2 plus 1 at a time. That passes, and the last one fails, so he dies. That leaving a single tact marine alive. Following on from that really good barrage, we have 3 heavy weapon marines that can see the lone tactical marine left. We really need to bring him off so he doesn't capture the objective at the start of the next turn. So we're going to fire 3 crack missiles, hitting on 3s. It's really not good. Only 1 hit. We've got a 2-up to wound and a fail. So that tactical marine is alive for the moment. Following on, we're pretty desperate to kill that last tactical marine, so we're going to fire the lone Thalax into him. It's a single shot, hitting on 3s. That is a hit. We're wounding on 2s, so that is a wound. No rending, so it's a single 3-up armor save from the Space Marine.
All right, let's have a look. Oh, he's dead. That does clear those word bearers off that objective.
Next to shoot, we have the Sakaran Venator. It's taking its aim at the enemy Contemptor Dreadnought. We really need to kill it before it comes any closer. So, as before, we have 2 shots hitting on 3s. As always, miss 1, hit 1. So we have ordnance. We need 3s to glance the front armor. There's 2 penetrating hits. So we have a single 5-up from the Atamantic shielding on the enemy Contemptor.
Come on, word bearers, 5-up. Oh.
Goes through. So we have, this is an AP1 weapon. That is a 6, so that is an explode result. That is fantastic. The Contemptor blowing up caught 7 word bearers Terminators in its radius, wounding with only 2. The sergeant was closest, failed both lookout sirs, but tanked both hits. The blast also caught the lone Thalax on the loyalist side, wounded, but he passed his armor save. Next to shoot is the full-strength Thalax squad. They're going to continue their rampage and try and destroy that Rhino. We have 4 shots from them, hitting on 3s. That's really good. We got a single hit. We need a single 4-up, however, to glance the Rhino to death, and that is a 6. So that's a penetrating hit. On the rolling on the table, it's a 1, so that's nothing. So it just loses its last hull point and becomes a wreck. On the left flank, the surviving tactical marines are going to try a crack grenade to destroy the last hull point off that Rhino. So we need a 3 to hit, and that is a miss. Next to fire is Contemptor Mortis with its dual carries. It's going to target the enemy Terminator squad that is advancing on the Imperial Fist lines. We're going to see if we can rend some to death. So we have 12 shots hitting on 2s. Not too bad again, we drop 2, so that is 10 hits. And strength 6, toughness 4, so we are wounding on 2s. That's really good. That is all wound, however that is no 6s, so that's 10 wounds, but it's all on the enemy 2-up armor saves.
10 armor saves on the Terminators. We've got 4 before we get to the Chaplain, so we'll do them 4 at a time. 2-ups required. That is 2-1, so 2 straight away. Oh my word, that is unbelievable. With last 2, okay, that's not too bad. So we've lost a Lightning Claw and the autocannon.
After the dust settled, 2 Terminators died. The Contemptor then followed up with the Havoc Launcher and landed 2 hits. Both were saved, however. Next to fire for the Imperial Fists are the newly arrived jet bikes. They're going to target that tactical squad sitting on the objective again. We're going to really try to peel these tactical marines off of objectives. We have 15 heavy bolter shots hitting on 2s, thanks to the Imperial Fist rule. That's pretty good, so we only drop 2. And these are wounding on 3s, thanks to strength 5, toughness 4. Again, that's pretty good, so we drop a further 4.
9 wounds caused on this tactical squad. There is 4 Marines before the Sergeant, so we'll do as many as I can at a time with my hand full of dice. Let's have a look at that. So we do drop 1, which is not too bad, then we'll just roll the rest, dropping no more, so that is 1 Marine dead.
Last to fire, a bit of a gamble. We decided to Fury of the Legion with this 15-man tactical squad with the attached characters. Would mean we don't get to Overwatch against that Terminator squad when they come in next turn. However, I think it was probably worth it. We had 55 shots after all the counting was done. Out of those, 45 hit, and out of those, 27 wounded. So we now have 27 2-up armor saves to take on those Terminators.
The Wordbearer's Terminators need to make an enormous amount of 2-up armor saves. It's worth noting, though, that the Terminator at the back there, along with the Chaplain, cannot be harmed because they can't be seen by the Imperial Fists. So we're going to do 2 batches of 10 and then a batch of 7. Good luck to the Wordbearers. Okay, that is good luck. So none so far. Wow, wow, wow. One more, sorry. And the next ones... Oh dear. That is 4 Terminators have been dropped. 2, 4, 6, 7. So those 4 are dead, and now we need to take 7 saves on that lone Terminator there, just breaching the top of that hill. Yep, and he's dead. So all that is left is 1 Terminator with a chain fist and the Chaplain. That was absolutely devastating.
Imperial Fist turn 3 assault phase. Really not as good as our shooting phase. The tactical squad made their charge against the Rhino with a single hull point left. Power Fist swung in, 2 misses and rolled a 1 to penetrate. 6 crack grenades went in against rear armor 10. Only 3 hit, and all penetrates were failed. So that Rhino is holding fast, and that tactical squad is stuck. Onto the thrust moves, the single phalanx only rolled a 5, brought him a little bit closer to that central objective, but not close enough to contest it. On the other side of the board, the 4-man squad of phalanx rolled a mighty 10, which is really good, bringing us away from that enemy Praetor, chasing them, hopefully stay away for another turn. Really variable turn. That Fury of the Legion possibly saved us, kept us in the game. We are behind on victory points, 3-1, and the Wordbearers are going to be continuing to score next turn. However, we have cleared a good section of the board. We might be able to push back, hoping for the later part of the game.
Wordbearers turn 4 movement, and what a turn the Wordbearers had at the hands of the Imperial Fist. That has changed the entire game now. So to that end, the Wordbearers plan to hold on to their objectives and try and challenge a few fronts. So this Rhino has backed up slightly, as has the other one that was amazingly got out of combat with those tactical Marines. This unit here has moved forward off their objective. They will charge the jet bikes after firing bolt pistols. The Achilles, unfortunately, has had to turn around just in case the Praetor doesn't again make it into combat with the Thalax. If we can take that unit out, it is a point. This failed charge through the centre of the board there from the Terminators has ended in retreat. The Terminator has moved 6 inches back and will run onto that objective to hold it late game. The Chaplain has decided to split off, and he is going to go after that Thalax. Again, if we can take him out, it's worth a point, and that is all the Wordbearers have on the table. What a nail-biting game. Wordbearers turn 4 shooting phase, and we'll start off with the bolt pistols into the Imperial Fist jet bikes. There are 8 of them, 3s to hit. Oh, that is not amazing. So we failed 3, so we hit with 5. 5s to wound. 1 wound. Come on.
So a single 2-up save, and we are passed.
Oh, hot diggity dog. All right, there are 2 multi-melters on those Rhinos. Are you going to jink, Boris?
I think we will, yes.
All right, so here we go. 3-ups. Oh, it's good. 2s. That is 2 hits. So 3-up jink. Your Sergeant is first, though.
Okay, we will try and look out, sir, both of these. So 4-ups, both pass, so on to other members of the squad, and 2 jink saves. 1 pass, 1 fail.
Bolt pistol from the Chaplain into that Phalanx. Let's see if we can cause a wound. 2s to hit. 5s to wound. Not a sausage. The Predator will fire his combi bolter into the back of those Thalax. 2s to hit, 5s to wound. That is 2 wounds, a 6 and a 5 scored there.
Right, so that's 2 4-up armor saves from the Thalax. 1 pass, 1 fail. We have a 6-up feel no pain. Failed, so that is a wound caused to the Thalax.
The Achilles Alpha will fire its shatter shells into the back of Thalax. It's AP4, so they'll only get their 6 up. So 4 shots, hitting on 3s. They have all hit, and now we need 2s to wound. That's good. That's 3 wounds. They need 3 6-up feel no pain.
Going through the 4+, so onto the feel no pain. All failed, so that's 3 wounds. That is 1 Thalax dead and 1 wound on another.
Next, we'll fire one of the Volkite Culverins thanks to Power of the Machine Spirits. That's 4 shots, twin-linked. Oh, thankfully, we need the twin-linked. So, total for 4 hits. Strength 6, toughness 5, 3s to wound. And that is 4 wounds there. Lovely.
So 4 4-up armor saves from the Thalax. Wow, all failed. So onto the feel no pain. See if we can save any of these. 1. So that is 3 wounds. That is another Thalax dead and another wound onto the other one.
There was Deflagrate to resolve, so 1 more wound caused. 4-up armor.
4-up armor save, passed.
Love it. All right, and now we have the remaining 4 shots from the other Volkite Culverin. Snapshots, twin links, 1 hit so far. Come on, 1 more. There's 2. 3s to wound. 2 wounds.
2 more 4-up armor saves. Both failed again. So that is 1 more Thalax dead and 2 more
6-up feel no pain.
Excuse me, no, both fail. So he is dead, and then 2 more Deflagrates.
Nothing.
Nice.
Not a bad shot there from the Word Bearers, but it does increase the charge of that Terminator. This TAC Marine on the balcony there, securing the objective, will fire down onto that Thalax. It's 1 shot, worth a go, 3s to hit. It fails. This Terminator will make a run for the objective there. Thankfully, he's in Tartarus pattern armor, and he runs 2 inches. That might not be enough for the next turn. Wordbearer's turn for assault phase, and now we've got 2 really important charges here. The Predator has declared a charge against that Thalax. It's a 10-inch charge, but the Thalax will get to Overwatch with its lightning.
So single shot hitting on a 6, nothing.
All right, and now we need a huge 10-inch from that Predator. Let's pray to the Book of Lorgar. Oh, it's a 7. I was about to try. And then finally, on the other side of the board there, we've got the Chaplain charging into the other Thalax. So we need a snapshot there from the lightning gun.
So 1 more Overwatch on a 6. That is a hit. Oh. So it is 2s to wound. That is a wound. So on to a 2-up armor save from the Chaplain.
Oh, I don't like the way this is going to go. Oh, okay, it's passed, thankfully. And now we'll get a charge. I'm pretty sure it made it, but we'll measure it and come back to you. The final charge of turn 4 is this TAC Marine into the jet bikes there. Overwatch was ineffective, and now we'll roll for the charge for the Tactical Marines. Oh, it's a 3-inch charge, but I'm pretty sure they've made it. Starting with the combat between the Chaplain and the Thalax, the Chaplain will swing with 5 attacks from his Power Sword, or the Crazius Arcanum, and he requires 3s to hit. Okay, we do get to re-roll these. So only 1 to re-roll. That is a full complement of hits. Strength 4, toughness 5, requiring 5s. Oh, that is not a sausage.
Striking back at the lower initiative is the Thalax with 2 attacks, hitting on 4s. That is 1 hit and strength 5, so we're wounding on 3s. No hit, so that is a drawn combat.
Last combat of turn 4 for the Word Bearers is this Tactical Squad against the jet bikes. The sergeants have challenged each other, so they're striking with their power fists, but the rest of the Marines there have additional close combat weapons, and there is 21 attacks against those jet bikes. We're going to roll them in 2 batches, 1 of 10 and then 1 of 11, requiring 4s to hit. Not bad, so 4 hits in the first, and now we'll roll 11. Okay. So there was 4 in the first round, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hits. Not amazing. We'll get rid of 2, and now we require 5s to wound. Come on. 1 and a cocked. I'm going to re-roll that. Give me a 5. Yes. 2 armor saves.
So 2 2-ups for the scimitars. Oh, 1 goes down.
Oh, we like that. All right, we'll now go into the Imperial Fists attacks.
That jet bike died, but first he gets to strike back at the same initiative, initiative 4. So we have 6 attacks going back for bolt pistols and close combat weapons. We're hitting on 4s, completely average, 3 hits, and wounding on 4s. No wounds. That's really disappointing.
Oh, okay, let's move on to the challenge. The Sergeant has 2 attacks base, +1 for charging with his Power Fist, 4s to hit. Oh, okay, that'll do. That's 2. Now 2s to wound. 1. Okay, so he does kill the Sergeant. See what happens in return.
Imperial Fist Sergeant's fighting back, only has 2 attacks. Rolling, however, Imperial Fist characters get preferred enemy in close combat, so we're re-rolling the 1. It's a 1 still, so only 1 hit, 2s to kill. That is a kill, so the Sergeants just KO each other.
Alright, so the Wordbearers do win by 1, is that right?
That is correct, yeah, 2 to 1.
The Wordbearers have won the combat by a difference of 1, so they require a leadership.
So the Imperial Fists, without a Sergeant, need a 7 or below. That is a 9, so they are running. We need an initiative off now, so Imperial Fists get a 1, so they are caught automatically with a 4. That squad is wiped, and the victorious Tactical Marines get to consolidate D6, or 1.
End of turn for the Wordbearers, and it's not a bad turn. That combat against the jet bikes went very well. The Thalax also passed his leadership test for being shot at. But other than that, that is the end of the turn for the Wordbearers. The Imperial Fists have a ton of firepower coming back at the Wordbearers, so let's see if they can hold out.
Imperial Fist turn 4 movement. We have a good amount of board control now, however we have very few objectives, so we really need to push up. It's been a really bloody game. Starting with the Thalax, he on the far right, the one that's not engaged, moved up just to hide from that fearsome firepower on the Land Raider Achilles behind the wreck of the Rhino. On the rear of the Imperial Fist line, the Tactical Squad moved up just to be on that objective for next turn. They're going to see if they can just hunker down and survive the game. A bit cowardly, but it's points that win the game. Tech Priest moved 3 over, moved through cover, the Dominus moved over. The Heavy Weapon Squad, 3 stayed still and 2 moved. We're going to get some shots possibly on the enemy Rhino or something else. We'll see what we can do. Contempt of Mortis moved forward 6 just to bring his guns to bear, possibly get a cheeky shot against maybe the Terminator or something else. And the Sakaran just pivoted to get a shot on the undamaged Rhino. We need that attrition point, or the D3 attrition points. Lastly, the Understrength Tactical Squad moved forward, having seen what that enemy Tactical Squad did to the jet bikes. We're going to see if we can enact some vengeance. We're ignoring the Rhino, as apparently we can't kill that. Turn 4, Imperial Fist shooting, starting with the Thalax. He's going to take a shot at his pursuer, the enemy Praetor, see what we can do. 1 shot hitting on 3s, that hits, so we are wounding on 2s. That is a wound, not a rend, however, so it's a single 2-up armor save on the enemy Praetor, who makes it on a 2. Next up, the Tactical Squad ran 3 inches just to get themselves a little more onto that objective. So if the Wordbearer shoot us next turn, we hopefully won't be blown off the objective, we can still score a point. Next is the Heavy Weapon Squad. We're going to try and target the already damaged Rhino all the way through that gap. 2 missile launchers, we're going to be firing crack missile launchers. 2 moved, so we'll be firing, hitting on 6s with snapshots. Both miss. We do have 3 firing at full ballistic skill. The Master Signal did give them a +1 ballistic skill, so these are hitting on 2s. All hit, no, not needed. Strength 8, side armor 11. We have tank hunter as well, so it's 3s. Not needed, that's 4 penetrating hits. There is not really any cover save, so that's just exploded Rhino.
There is a bit of cover in the way, so we're going to take 3 5-up cover saves. It wasn't meant to be, but it was worth a try.
Next to shoot is the Contempt of Mortis. He's got his sights on the single remaining Tartarus Terminator from the Wordbearers. If we can bring him down, it stops him scoring a point next turn, and we just need those points. So starting with the carries, it's 12 shots, hitting on 2s. Pretty good. We dropped 2, so that is 10 hits. So then we need 2s to wound, and we're really looking for those 6s to rend. That is a fail to wound, so that is 3, 6, 8 wounds and 1 rend. So it doesn't really matter which one you take. If you want to take the 1 rend first, then we don't have to take the rest.
5 up. Okay, he's dead on the first roll. That Terminator has been killed.
Possibly slight overkill, but probably not based on its previous experience. The Sakaran Venator is going to target that empty Rhino just for the attrition points. We have 2 shots hitting on 3s. Both hit this time. So strength 10, side armor 11, we are auto-glancing, but a 2+ is a penetrating hit. That's 2 penetrating hits. So the first one with ordnance is an explode, and the second one is nothing. So we'll figure out the explosion and come back to you. The explosion from the Rhino only went out 3 inches and didn't touch either side, so no further damage. Next fire is the tactical squad. They're going to fire bolt pistols at the enemy tactical squad to try and whittle them down before the charge. We have 7 shots hitting on 2s. That's really good. That would have been 3 misses otherwise, but thanks to the Imperial Fist rule, that is all hits. 4s to wound. That's still pretty good. That's 2 dropped, so that is 5 wounds. We have no 2 up, so it's just all 3 up armor saves. So that is 2 word bearers go down to the bolt pistols. Turn 4 Imperial Fist assault phase. The tactical squad are going to charge the tactical squad that they just killed 2 members of. The word bearers first get to double tap with their bolt guns as in Overwatch. It's 10 shots ringing out, so we have 6s. 3 hits, pretty great.
That's all right, we'll take that. Now we need 4s to wound. Nothing, and it's a 5-inch charge.
5-inch charge from the Imperial Fists. Just make it on a 6. Making the charge, there are no challenges as the word bearers lack any characters having previously died. So we're straight onto the initiative 4 step. Starting with the Imperial Fist, we have 12 regular attacks, no extra close combat weapons. So we have 12 from the Marines hitting on 4s. That's really not great. Only 4 hits out of 12. Wounding on 4s. 3 wounds, not too bad. So 3 up armor saves from the word bearers, passing all of them.
The word bearers strike back before the Imperial Fist comes in with his power fist. We've got 10 attacks requiring 4s to hit. That is not bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So half. Those extra close combat weapons really helping out. And now we need 4s to wound. Okay, not bad. 3 up armor saves.
So I'm going to take these not on the sergeant. So 2 3-up saves. 2 die. So that is 2 Imperial Fists down. They're already 2 down in the terms of the combat. 3 down, apologies. 1 more to go. The word bearers did 3 wounds. Another one. So that is 3 Imperial Fists down to regular attacks before the sergeant gets a strike. Finally, striking initiative 1 is the Imperial Fist sergeant with the power fist. Really need these to come through to bring up the combat resolution. Hitting on 4s. It's 2 hits. It's not ideal, but that is still pretty good. 2s to wound. That is 2 dead. So that is 2 word bearers dead. At the end of that incredible combat, the Imperial Fists have lost the combat by 1, having suffered 1 extra casualty. We still have the sergeant, so we are rolling an 8 or under to stay in the combat. Whew, still a 6, but as a 7, so we are staying put.
Striking initiative 5, combat between the chaplain and the Thalax. The chaplain has 4 attacks now, hitting on 3s. No rerolls, but we got 3 hits, which is pretty good. And we're strength 4, toughness 5. Oh, not a sausage. This is not good.
So striking back with 2 attacks, hitting on 4s. No hits again. So it is another drawn combat. Last thing to do in the assault phase is the Thalax's thrust move. The lone Thalax managed to roll a mighty 10, thrusting away from behind the cover, breaking for those mid-table objectives. Weren't able to get away from the enemy Land Raider, so we will suffer its firepower next turn, but there's not much we can do. We have, however, left the enemy Praetor in the dust. End of turn 4 for Imperial Fists. Good and bad turn. It would have been really great to win that combat in the tactical squads, but that's how it goes. We will be scoring 1 victory point next turn from the Dominion objectives, but not enough. We have a lot of bodies on the board, but they're not in the right place.
Word bearers turn 5 movement and potentially the last turn of the game. The Praetor has had such an unsuccessful battle. He has moved through cover 6 inches to the cover of the rocks and those crates to get out of the way of being sniped out by the Venator or rendered to death from the Mortis. The Achilles has gone on Thalax hunting roll and has turned to face the Thalax in a bid to take that attrition point. This 3 brave tactical Marines are in combat with Imperial Fists. Hopefully they can bring the day for the word bearers, and then finally the combat continues between the chaplain and the Thalax. Word bearers turn 5 shooting, and we kick off with the only shooting of the round, and that's the quad cannon into the Thalax with shatter shells. 3s to hit. Not bad, 3 hits. And we are strength 8, AP 4, 2s to wound. Look at that. There are 3 feel no pain saves from the Thalax though.
So we need 3 6-up feel no pains. If we make 2 of these, he stays alive. Oh, make 1, but fail 2. He is dead.
Word bearers turn 5 assault phase, and the 3 tactical Marines will strike against the Imperial Fists. There are 2 attacks each, thanks to those 2 close combat weapons. 4s to wound. Not a bad roll. Not a bad roll at all. So 2, 4, 5 hits. 4s to wound, sorry. Yeah, we'll take that. That is 4 armor saves.
So we'll take these, the first 3 before we get to the sergeant. So 3 ups. Oh, really not going well. So 2 down, and the last one pass. So that's 2 Marines fall. Fighting back before they fall are the 3 Imperial Fist Tactical Marines. 3 attacks. Hitting on 4s, that is a single hit. 4s to wound, no wounds, so nothing. Can the sergeant save the combat? We have 2 attacks. Hitting on 4s, 1 hit. We need this 2 up. Yes, that's 1 word bearer dead.
All right, so the word bearers do win the combat by a difference of 1.
So we're on to a leadership of 8 again. Oh, double 6. There we are. So we have an initiative off. Imperial Fist roll 3. Oh, they do get away.
All right, so the word bearers consolidate 6.
And the Imperial Fists fall back 8.
Lovely stuff. The word bearers just sneak behind the back of that rhino with a consolidation move, which will also bring them into contact with the objective in the next turn if the game continues. And the word bearers, and the Imperial Fists there have just fallen back. Next combat is the chaplain in with the Thalax. Hopefully, the chaplain can make more of an impact. 4 attacks requiring 3s. Oh, geez. All right, so we've got 3 hits. That's not too bad. It's the 5s that kill us, though. Oh, we've got 1. Okay, so 6 up, feel no pain.
Cuts through the armor, so feel no pain. Fails, so he deals a wound. So that Thalax is on 1 wound remaining. He gets a strike back. So 2 attacks, hitting on 4s, nothing.
All right, so you are stubborn.
Yep.
Leadership 8.
See, we've been doing well with these leadership tests. Let's see. Yeah, another one failed. So that is a 9. The Thalax is running. The word bearer's initiative is a 1. I believe you get to re-roll those thanks to your word bearer's trait. To a 2. However, the Thalax do have a much lower initiative. Let's see. A 3. I believe he is caught and killed.
Finally, that chaplain has done some good work and taken that Thalax off the board. He then moved 5 inches on his consolidation move under that gantry there. Hopefully, that will protect him from the incoming fire next turn. End of turn 5 for the word bearers, and they've put in some really good work there, sweeping 2 units in combat. The victory points are stacking up for the word bearers, but there is a ton of firepower to come back at the word bearers. Can they hold on for another turn?
Imperial Fist turn 5, starting with the tactical squad who broke from combat last turn. They rallied and just consolidated 3 inches just to bring themselves, maybe snapshot the enemy tactical squad. The only other things left to move, the Sakaran Venator brought itself around, and out of sheer spite is going to try a shot at the enemy chaplain, as is the Contemptor Mortis. The heavy weapon squad stayed still, and the tactical squad and the Magos Dominus haven't really had a lot to do all game, so they just push forward to see if they can put their firepower possibly into the tactical marine holding that objective or the chaplain. We're going to see if we can score some attrition points and take word bearers off the objectives, as there might be another turn, turn 6, but we really need to secure some more objectives. Turn 5, shooting for the Imperial Fist. We're going to start with the 2 tactical marines. They're going to fire bolt guns at the enemy tactical squad on that objective, see if we can make them run. So 2 snapshots hitting on a 6, that is 2 misses. Next to fire, again out of pure spite, we're going to fire the Sakaran Venator at the enemy chaplain in cover there. We're going to start off with the heavy bolter and see if that will do it. 3 shots, hitting on 3s, so that's 2 hits, wounding on 3s. That is 2 wounds. That's 2 2-up armor saves.
All right, let's have a look, see what we can do. That is 1 wound.
So he takes a wound, and then we're going to follow up with the neutron beam laser. 2 shots hitting on 3s. That is both hit and 2s to wound. Both wound. We've agreed he'll have a 5-up cover save. If he fails either of these, he's dead. Almost passed, but the 1 failed save calls him out and removes his last wound. Next to shoot is the Contemptor Mortis. Again, slightly out of spite, we're going to draw a very obscured shot through the central walkways and into the back of the enemy Land Raider. It will be a really tough shot with rendings needed, but we might be able to do a couple of hold points again, just out of spite. So 2s to hit, start with, got 1 out of the dice box. So that is 3 misses, not great, but we then have 6s and to pen, but absolutely none. We have 5 5s, but no 6s. So all those shots patter harmlessly off the armor. Last to shoot, again, we're desperate to keep these word bearers off the objectives, is the tactical squad firing at that lone word bearer's marine who's been there almost since the start of the game. We've got 5 bolt guns that are in range, hitting on 2s. That is a hit. So it's all hit. That's really good. 4s to wound. It's only 2 wounds. We just need 2 3 armor saves. So a single one of these fail. That's passed and passed. So he lives strong. End of Imperial Fist turn 5. We did what we can. We pushed up the board. We have got to see if there's another turn of the game and moving into turn 6. So we have a 4 up for the variable game length. That is a 3. So that is the end of the game. And we will tot up the victory points and see who is the winner.
Game 3 is done, and that was one hell of a game.
That was again. It was bloody. Blimey, yeah.
I thought the Fists have done it. We'll talk about it in a minute. There's lots and lots to talk about. Final standings, victory point wise, is the word bearers have scored 8.
Yep.
Which is amazing. There was no warlord kill and there was no attrition, but it was just purely the Dominion objectives. However, the Imperial Fists have done quite well, though.
Yeah, we scored the attrition, which in Dominion is a D3. So I've got my handy dice here. So the Fists score an extra 3, so that's a 2 extra VPs.
Yeah, so you get 2 for your Dominion, 2 for your attrition, so 4.
4, yeah.
But what that does do, though, it means that we've got a win each and a draw.
Yes.
So going into game 4, we are level pegging, and I think that's
tied.
Perfect, isn't it?
Brilliant. That's how you want the end game to be. If it's 3 wins to one side and the last side's got to try and claim a victory in the last turn, that's rubbish. It's completely even.
Unbelievable. There were some amazing points from the word bearers. I think a couple of key things went wrong. I think the Tartarus Terminators dying to rapid bolt of fire, or a few of the Legion from the Imperial Fists, but also splitting off the Praetor from the squad to go Thalax hunting and just getting absolutely nowhere.
I mean, it was a couple of key dice rolls, wasn't it? I think if anyone's going to do a Fury of the Legion and kill a Terminator squad, it's Imperial Fists. It's that hitting on 2s. When I can't remember quite how many, it was 50-something shots.
It's a lot.
And almost all of them hit. So, and then you have your average amounts of wounds and stuff. If anyone's going to do it, it's the Imperial Fists. But to be honest, I think it seemed like quite a close game, and towards the end you were really worried that you were going to get tabled.
Yeah.
And there's a lot less red on the board than yellow. But VPs wise, Wordbearers did twice as well, and it was those sort of turn 2, 3. You had the whole centre of the board. I was flanking you quite nicely, and if this was a sort of kill points game, I'd be pretty happy with myself.
Yeah.
But it was that you just came in and took the centre of the board and just started racking up those VPs. There was one turn when you got 3 in one turn, and I really struggled to even get 1. I think I had 1 VP at the beginning, and then had to fall back. You shot me off it, and then just couldn't reclaim it. So it's all about.
Sorry, I was going to say that one tack marine on that objective did amazingly well, And let's not forget, Boris had some formidable firepower, and the wordbearers were really aggressive and just didn't have the firepower to compete. So that Venator is still alive. Didn't even bother shooting at it.
I mean, he did nothing for 2 turns, so I was slightly sweating, and then he finally did himself proud and took out a Contemptor or 2 and some other bits and bobs. But yeah, he's really good. It's the first time I've used one, which is great. But yeah, I mean, the carries for me, double carries. I've run a Mortis with double carries quite a lot. Never do that well. Never ever have I called out a Contemptor from full hull points. None. Generally, maybe do 1. Maybe do a weapon destroy, but 3, that was crazy.
Yeah.
That Fury of the Legion was amazing. I had some amazing shooting attacks, I think. In combat, I think the dice went against me and went with you.
For a change?
Yeah, that was impressive, I think, the amount of combat there.
It was good fun. One of the things which you don't see, particularly between this series, between Boris and I, we've been to work, we've done a full 8-hour shift.
Yeah.
And then Boris has come over at about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We've filmed the entire thing. I think it's probably getting on for 11 o'clock now.
11 o'clock.
So we film these every night during the week, which I don't think you see that. And I can tell you, we are absolutely dog tired, aren't we?
Yeah, it's going to be a long drive home and a good night's sleep, I think. But
holy hell,
worth it.
It's definitely worth it.
So worth it.
This opportunity for both of us. We're not playing with our own armies, and I, as I mentioned in previous games, you can just I'm not emotionally attached to this army, and I'll just throw stuff in. And I definitely played in a style which I wouldn't normally play.
Absolutely. I think the last few games, me too, because when you have your own army, you've built your own units, you fight in a particular way. You kind of get locked into that unless you buy lots of new units, which I don't. So this has been really fun. Just playing again. We're both quite new. I'm new to the Fists. I play a very different Legion normally. You're new to Space Marines entirely. I was new to Thalax this game. So I had to be asking you, the sort of master of Thalax, how they work. You were begrudging my thrust move rolls and save rolls quite a lot, but apparently, I don't know, been in a beginner's luck. But yeah, so we're kind of both beginners at this. So if we made any obvious tactical errors, we're going to blame it on beginners.
I think we were fairly tight with the rules in this one. I think we've done pretty well. But, we talked about this in the previous game. If you can get hold of someone else's army, or if you play against someone regularly, switch up your army with your opponent. It's a lot of fun, I can definitely assure you.
Yeah, I'd definitely be down for switching up with some friends now. Trying some legions you've got used to blowing up quite a lot.
Yeah, and it's definitely steered my Death Guard selection. Anyway, that's a conversation for another day. We need to go to bed, so I really hope you've enjoyed this. I've taken a ton of photos, so please go to the Facebook page when this game is released. Instagram at 30k channel.
Pack paints
all on the bottom if I've done my job right. Final word, Boris.
Fury of the Legion with Imperial Fists, can't go wrong.
Amazing. Final word for me, double fist contemptor. I love it. I'm not sure how effective it is. But we'll find out. The next game will be a big ball-busting 2,500 points.
The finale.
Tons of armour. I'm really looking forward to it. We will see you in the next one.